The Valis series. Made by Telenet Japan and their division Riot, the series had 4 numbered games released on a variety of platforms, an SD game that only came out on the Megadrive, and then it kinda died out, until another company called Eance brought it back with Valis X. Although that was a bunch of games that was just a hentai delivery system, or hentai with free game. But I want to focus on the first game, and not any of the original Famicom or computer releases, but the Megadrive version, which is more like a remake, because it was made much later, in 1991. Valis is a basic action platformer. You've got your hero, Yuko, armed with the Valis sword that can be upgraded 3 times. Other kind of weapons can be found on later levels, and they can be upgraded too. Yuko can jump higher if you hold in the up button, which is fun to use on the first level to find more items, but it's useful later too, as is the slide. Not so much for dodging really, but in the cave it actually works better than jumping in places. You also have magic that you can start using as soon as you beat the first boss and get your first Fantasm U-Elf. And every subsequent boss after that gives out another magic spell. The first one is probably the most useful though, as it seems to hit everything on the screen. The problem with the game is just that it's pretty slow. I don't think Yuko is in the athletic club at school, because she runs at a leisurely pace. Then, in later levels when you can pick up new weapons, you can also pick out the old, which is like a death sentence, as it's way too weak, even when leveled up. Enemies can be hard to hit sometimes, and it's like some platforms have a solid part with extra bits on the sides because you fall through there. In any case, it's a pretty solid game, decent overall, and there's some fun to be had. I've had an odd fascination with this series for years, going back to when I was looking to diversify from Nintendo games a bit and went looking for something on the Megadrive of which I haven't played too much, except for the obvious ones. And Valis was what I stumbled across somehow. Now with my newfound knowledge of Japanese, I went and translated the Japanese manual, the interesting parts at least, not the actual instructions. And then, just before I wrote this script, I thought of reminding myself whether or not there was an English port to this game, and voila, there was. So that saves time in this video, not having to go through the storyline summary, character descriptions, or even the first 2 in-game cutscenes. However, the Japanese manual has additional stuff that the American manual doesn't. First, a more detailed look at the 2 main characters, Yuko and Reiko. Alright then, first Yuko. All about Yuko. Special expose, let's call it. It's a double spread of this thing. First, there's a quote from her. "I'm telling you, I'm a regular high school girl like everyone else." Or anyone else. Then, it's all split up into sections, which is, there's some slight weirdness, but we'll get to that. First, eyes. And then, yeah, you'll see why it's weird. If she's interested, she has a bad habit of staring. She also cries to moving TV shows. Yeah, crying is related to eyes, but her, emotions is how, eyes. I would assume this would say just they're blue or something, or whatever. And then lips, because kuchibiru means lips. She likes to talk but doesn't speak ill of others. And then, of course, bust. She's been told by classmates that hers are on the big side. She thinks they get in the way a bit during gym class. Good to know. Hips. Hates them. What she hates most about her body is her butt. That's why she almost never wears jeans. Hair. She takes good care of her hair. Her best feature. Hands. She inherited some nimble hands from her mother. As a child, she took piano classes. Legs. Although she doesn't play sports, she runs pretty fast. She worries her thighs are too thick. And then there's the list. Birthday, March 3rd. Blood type 0. Height 158 centimeters. Weight 46 kilos. Bust 82. Waist 61. Hips 85. Now the weird thing about translating this, I'm not sure if this, all the text parts are written by her, if it's from her point of view. She's saying it herself, like the hates the hips thing, like I hate my hips. Or if it's from a narrator point of view. I'm not sure. I think it's a narrator, but not entirely sure. Anyway, let's move on to Reiko. Her quote, "I think beauty and smart should be equally great. She thinks her eyes are the most beautiful part of her. She always wants to look at beautiful things." Hair. She entrusts both her hair care and hairstyle to a stylist. Lips. She'll say what she thinks the minute it pops into her head, but she never lies. Bust. The shape is good, but in terms of size they're a little small. The bra she uses is custom made. And I think they refer to her bra in real life and not the metal one that comes with her armor. Hands. She doesn't carry anything heavier than a fork and knife. When told something rude, she'll slap you without thinking. Like, ah! You know, oh wow, why did I do that? Then there are two sections that I don't know completely because they're strange. Legs. She's been doing ballet since childhood. She never wears miniskirts, but is proud of something because it says. Also, she does wear miniskirt, but you know when she turns into a warrior, so you know that can be excused. Masugu de ashi kubi ga shimattiru koto ga jiman. So she's proud of something. So her ankles are straight and closed. Shimattiru, I think it means closed. So her ankles are straight and closed, and I have no idea what closed ankles mean. And then hip, or hips. She says, or the narrator says, or whatever. I think whoever says that she thinks that big butts are not intellectual, or girls with big butts are stupid, is what I sort of take from it. But then it goes into complete territory with bishitto shimatta hippu ga kini itiru. So she's bishitto shimatta hippu. So bishitto, I guess, is kind of like, I don't know, about closed hips or tight hips or something. I have no idea what that means, but maybe she just... No, I don't know what that means. And then her stats: birthday August 1st, blood type AB, height 160 centimeters, weight 48 kilos, bust, waist, hips is 78, 60, 82. So she's got wide hips, I guess. So does that mean she thinks herself is stupid? I don't know. The second Japanese exclusive section is a conversation between Yuko and Reiko. Let's listen in. Haha, just you and me talking like this is a first, isn't it? Reiko, what do you do after getting home from school? You go straight home? I do various things. Ballet lessons, piano lessons, shopping, etc. I keep occupied. I bet you flake on your cleaning duties a lot. Cleaning? Your group has cleaning duty 2 weeks out of every month, didn't you know? Not at all, I haven't cleaned once. Oh? It's fun though. Fun? How do you mean? You can talk to friends while doing it. And S, the math teacher, sometimes helps out. Note, S is the most popular teacher at school. Huh? You mean Teacher S? Well, maybe in the future when I feel like it, I'll join the cleaning. It might be good for my health after all. Hey, that reminds me. Haven't you been tardy a lot lately, Yuko? Oh, that. I've been busy with battles is all. You're also always bringing that big bag to school. You're changing clothes on the way from school and going to the disco, aren't you? No, I have to bring my battle suit and Valis sword with me, or Varia will... What are you babbling about? Could it be you have a boyfriend? Huh? Reiko, don't you have a boyfriend? Hey, I do. I have many. Oh, what kind of guy? The coolest guy ever. Although I've only met him once so far. What's his name? Lord Logless. What? Reiko, you can't go out with that guy. Why not? You're just jealous. Hee. That's not true. I'm telling you, that man is the Dark World's... this won't do. It's time for my date with Lord Logless. Later! Wait, Reiko, you can't! Anyway, also I don't know if it's really Logless or Rogress, because you could say it either which way you want. And finally, the Japanese manual ends with kind of a personality test for the players to determine if they belong in the game's light, real or dark worlds. Let's see where I belong, shall we? Which world suits you the best? The balance of light and dark within your heart is very important. How will you do? Try our test. Read the following questions. Yes is an A, neither yes or no is a B, and no is a C. And then I will try and take notes while I'm doing this, so I can calculate my score, because it's really important. Question 1. Of the female characters in Valis, the one I like the most is Varia. That's the light goddess, but that is a no, because I like Yuko the most. Question 2. I don't like sweets. Yes, I do. So I guess... So it's kind of like true and false. So I guess no, because I do like sweets, that's a no. Although Logless is evil, seeing him defeated by a female high school student is sad. Sad, like Trump would say. I would say so. No again then, because it's not sad. I often end up speaking a long time on the phone. Only to, I don't know, 2 people I know that can happen to. It's not exactly often, no. Being outside on a nice day is the best. No, being inside playing video games is the best. And other things. On days when something sad has happened, I fall asleep quickly. No. I mean, I've trained myself to fall asleep even if something sad has happened, but maybe not quickly. So I guess that would go under B. Even if I'm feeling so-so, hanging out with my friends makes me right as rain again. I guess. Depends on the friend, but... Question 8, I often remember things and laugh, yes. I prefer playing games with female protagonists. That's a B. It doesn't really matter, it's just if it's a good protagonist or not. 10, I'm a person who has good luck in general, no. 11, I prefer pro wrestling over boxing. If you asked me that as a 10-year-old, I would say yes, pro wrestling is much better, but no, I think I would say no. I don't really care about what clothes I have on, no, I don't. 13, I remember my parents' birthdays, yes, actually. 14, I often forget or lose things, yes. 15, I play games my own way, I guess. Which other ways are there? When I'm hungry, I lose my ability to concentrate, yes. I can communicate with animals such as dogs or cats. Well, that depends. If you mean like coochie coochie coo or whatever, then yes. If you mean speaking to them, then no. So I guess B. 18. I sometimes have sleep paralysis of out-of-body experiences. No. But I have had sleep paralysis twice in my life, and no, one time. I woke up one morning when I was a kid and couldn't move my body. I can only think, breathe, and I think move my eyes maybe. And I was just like, I can't move. And then just the second before I just started panicking, I was just like, fuck this, I'm just gonna fall back asleep. And then I just closed my eyes and fell asleep again. And then when I woke up, I could move my body. And then I didn't really think more about it after that. And then I heard about what sleep paralysis is. 19. Even with newly purchased games, I skip reading the manual and jump straight into the game. Yes. 20. I don't like super spicy curry. No, I don't, which is then true. 21. I will often speak to strangers. Not really, but I guess B. When I see a line of people, I join it. A line to do what? Is it like, am I conformist? Or do they mean like a line of, oh, I see a line to a grocery store and just like, I want to stand in that line? No, not really, I guess C. 23, I like nature, yes. A. Okay, A is 5 points, B is 3 points, C is 1 point. From that score, your perfect dimension will be revealed. Okay, so... So 71 points. And then let's go to the results. That puts me in the real world. 79, that's 55 to 79. I got 71. So, live strongly in the real world. It's kind of like a suggestion. Or like you got your feet firmly planted in the real world or something. You have a good balance in your heart. Improving your spirit a little and aspiring to be a warrior of Valis would be good too. However, because it's easy to be in the shadow of others, be careful. Okay. And of course, the other ones are rise up in the dark world. You're rise up, you know, Moriagare is just kind of like revel in the dark world, maybe. You're cool and narcissistic. You stick to your principles, tossing aside others for your own ambition. But as you get old and don't have any friends, you might feel lonely. So basically, the tip is just don't be an asshole. And the best one, I guess, live happily in the dream world. Possessing a benevolent spirit, you always remember your compassion, because your personality lacks tension, which I don't really know what that means, but surmounting the troubles of the world appears difficult. You should be residing in the dream world. I guess personality lacks tension just pretty much means that you're calm. I would say that's what that means. So yeah, I guess I belong in the real world, which is the only world that exists anyway, so... So that was a closer look into the world of Valis the Phantasm Soldier. I've not played many of the other games really. SD Valis looked like it would be good, but it wasn't. and Super Valis 4 is decent but pretty boring. The best versions of these games seems to be on the PC Engine CD, which has nice graphics, voiced cutscenes, and CD quality music. None of these games are great, but they have a certain allure to them. It might be the decent platform action, it might be the bikini armor, I don't know. But check them out if you get the chance.